Next, let's look at a practical example applying the full method in context, but just in a single sentence. Normally, it would be more than one sentence, obviously. Each lesson will be like a small story with 10 to 20 sentences. Here, I thought of having something similar to the assimil method, with the right and left page. Also, this sentence is not the first of the first lesson. At this point, there would already be a bit of background knowledge. And again, it is still in work in progress. The techniques are basically finished. I just need to find a good way to imply them properly. So, this one sentence right here is just a test. So, the stranger at the gate. A mini narrative. Let's say our scene comes from a mythic or fantasy world. A lone traveler approaches a forgotten city or realm. The learner is immersed in a narrative moment. He had been walking for hours when he finally saw the gate. Step 1. 4D grammar mapping. We identify the temporal context. He had been walking. Scene 1. The past perfect continuous. When he saw the gate. Scene 2. Past, simple past. The learner visualizes the scene. Act 1. The character walking endlessly through a desolate land. Act 2. The gate suddenly appearing in the distance. This teaches not only tense forms, but also when and why each is used. And via constant repetition and usage of this, we could omit the learning by heart part of declension and conjugation, simply by reiteration and usage. Step 2. The grammar blueprint. We extract the structure. So, we have the subject and a nominative. We have a auxiliary verb, had been, plus a main verb in the ing form, plus the temporal clause, when X happened. Learners then will fill the blueprint with known words. For example, she had been studying when the light went out. Rebuild the blueprint in another language. For example, in Latin. Is ambulaverat per multas horas con portam vidit. In Italian. Aveva camminato per ore quando vide il cancello. And modify the scene. Use the same structure for a different tense. For example, he will have been walking for hours before the sun rises. Scene 5. Then, step 3. Multi-language polyangulation. Let's extract the word gate and apply our polyangulation. Gate, porta, in both Latin and Italian. City, in Latin urbs, in Italian città. Stranger, in Latin hospes, in Italian forestiero. And to walk, in Latin ambulare, in Italian camminare. Now, the learner begins noticing. Porta remains stable across 3 languages. Urbs becomes città, shows semantic drift and morphological change. And finally, the conclusion. A new path for language learners. Language learning has long been seen as something tedious, confusing, or reserved for the gifted. But it doesn't have to be. With the right tools and the right perspective, language acquisition becomes not only possible for everyone, but enjoyable, efficient, and deeply rewarding. And this paper has introduced a new framework based on three powerful techniques. 4D grammar mapping, which spatializes grammar and transforms it into an immersive experience. Grammar blueprint, which reveals the reusable architecture of sentence construction. And multi-language triangulation or polyangulation, which accelerates vocabulary acquisition through pattern recognition and etymological insight. Each of these methods stands strong on its own, but when integrated, they become a complete system for acquiring not just one language, but many